Well, hello everyone and happy Thursday. It is digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you all back to Before the Four. If you're new to Before the Four, this is a little live stream where I go here on Facebook Live, I go on YouTube Live, and of course I go on WAFF.com, that live stream page, and I talk about today's top stories here at 48 News. And it was quite a busy day today. We had a lot of breaking stories that went through today. So without further ado, I think it is time we jump into today's top stories. And of course, if you feel led to, you can leave a comment. How is your Thursday afternoon going? Are you staying cool out there? Just let me know. But anyway, let's dive in to today's top stories. And starting things off in New Hope, an arrest has been made in a dog attack that left a 2-year-old dead back in March. Now today, Melissa Phillips, that's who you see on screen there, she turned herself into the Madison County Jail for violating Emily's Law, which pertains to the dangerous dogs in the community. Now back in March, 2-year-old Mark Allen Partain was mauled by a dog while playing in his neighbor's backyard on TR Christian Road. Now during the investigation into the case, 2 dogs were seized due to their potential involvement in the mauling. Now detectives also discovered a 3rd dog involved in the attack. The owner of that 3rd dog surrendered their pet over to animal control. And it was also discovered that only one of those 3 dogs was actually involved in a dog attack back in January as well. Now, all of those dogs have been euthanized. Phillips is currently held on a $15,000 bond. And now in Sheffield, this is out in the Shoals, where there have been quite a few tragic drownings recently. Now, the latest happened in Sheffield just yesterday, and police have now identified the victim who drowned after jumping into the Tennessee River. Sheffield Police Chief Rick Terry confirmed that 21-year-old Keel McCoy as the victim. The Colbert County Dive Team and the Sheffield Police Department both worked together to locate McCoy after he jumped into the river and didn't resurface. Teams worked for more than 2 hours before eventually finding his body. Now, Terry says McCoy was from Indiana and he was near the Whippoorwill area swimming with friends. Sheffield Police, Sheffield Fire, Colbert County EMA, and the state troopers were in the water searching for the swimmer. Very sad story there. Now, with the recent drownings that have happened here in the area recently, swimming safety is certainly something we should all keep in mind. NBC's Morgan Chesky reports on a dramatic pool rescue which highlights swimming safety. Let's watch.
I never, ever in my life thought that would happen at my pool with my kids.
A family's worst nightmare unfolding in their North Carolina backyard.
Gaston County 911. Yes, a kid fell in the pool. The baby fell in the pool.
2-year-old Mila Shortridge swimming with her siblings and friends.
Having fun on Memorial Day.
When a fun weekend became a fight for survival.
I actually was sitting like in this very spot right here. And
Mila's father, Matthew, says he was keeping a close eye on the pool when he briefly turned away. Home surveillance video captured what happened next.
I heard my 10-year-old daughter, Adeline, scream out my younger daughter's name, Mila, like that. And I knew immediately that blood-curdling scream, what that meant. I saw my daughter, Mila, floating in the pool with her head down and her arms like this. I immediately jumped into the pool.
Matthew and his wife, Amy, both medical professionals, are also CPR certified.
I immediately started mouth to mouth. I started breathing in her mouth, and my friend immediately started chest compressions.
I heard a cry, and I heard her try to cough. And when I heard that, my heart just filled with joy so much that she was saved and she was alive.
Mila survived, but the CDC says drowning remains the leading cause of death for children ages 1 through 4. And that number's on the rise, spiking by 28% between 2019 and 2022. Which is why safety experts say layers of protection are crucial. starting with supervision. Have adults take turns being the designated water watcher. And in public, always check for lifeguards and where they're stationed. Next, barriers. Residential pools need a fence and self-locking gate. And consider alarms on doors that lead outside. And finally, get CPR certified.
It's vitally important to do breaths as well to make sure that oxygen is getting to the brain. We have minutes when we're talking about a child who's been in the water, or anybody for that matter.
Experts say with the right knowledge and training, lives just like Mila's can be saved. She spent one night in a hospital, but since then has made a full recovery. Her parents and sister hoping their story helps others.
Everybody needs to be around their little sister or brother that can't swim well.
I want everyone possible to know CPR because it really does save lives.
And now in Huntsville, where a teenager is facing murder charges for a shooting over the weekend. Now, according to court documents, John Torres killed Jose Hernandez with a 9mm handgun. Now, according to the Madison County coroner, Tyler Berryhill, the shooting happened on Squaw Valley Drive this Saturday. Court records show that Torres lived on that road. And now in Huntsville, 48's Nick Ballinger, he will be covering this story today on this tragic shooting, learning as much as he can about that situation. And we'll have more on the latest for you all coming up in just a few minutes. Now, in case you missed it, yesterday Nick spoke with a local beekeeper after it has been confirmed that Africanized honeybees have been found in Jackson County. Now, these bees are heavily aggressive. Let's take a listen.
The Alabama Department of Agriculture and Industries announced that a swarm of Africanized honeybees were found in Jackson County. These bees are also called killer bees. Athens beekeeper Lionel Evans has been around bees for 50 years, and he's never ran into an Africanized hive, and he never wants to.
99.9% of the time, honeybees are not aggressive. But Africanized, when you disturb them in the least, they are. They're really aggressive.
Officials aren't sure yet how the swarm got here, but generally they can come over on cargo ships from other countries. If you do stumble across them, they can be dangerous due to their aggressive nature.
I think they have a headache a lot of times, and they're just more aggressive. They're so high-strung, I guess, they just attack everything. They'll kill dogs. In Columbia, Tennessee, they killed a horse.
Their aggressive nature is just in their DNA. They aren't just dangerous to people and animals, but to other bees as well, sometimes even stealing honey from another hive.
They'll check it out to see if they can rob it. And bees fight and sting each other and kill each other, you know. But the Africanized have a trait to be far more aggressive than bees we have here in America.
The Madison Beekeeping Association says if you think you've stumbled across an Africanized hive, it's best to call a local beekeeper. And if you're not sure if they're killer bees or not, Evans says you'll know.
You'll know it immediately. They'll come at you. They will come at you.
Well, thank you, Nick. Certainly a scary situation out there. Well, recently a contractor in Madison County has been indicted by a grand jury for allegedly taking money for jobs he didn't complete. Harold Champion was indicted on 9 counts for first-degree theft. Now, the indictment alleges that he took over $200,000 from victims. Yesterday, 48's Matthew King spoke with some of the victims of this situation. And let's take a listen.
I want to look him right in the eye, and I want him to look me right in the eye and say, yeah, I stole money from him and 8 others, and I knew what I was doing.
Charles Weber says he's pleased with the indictment. He says he hired Harold Champion to build his dream patio until
he took that dream away from us.
Weber says Champion took money from him up front and never started his work.
We didn't hear from him anymore. He stopped taking our calls. We found out there was addresses that didn't exist.
He then found out he and his wife weren't the only couple to go through this.
It's a shame he has such a good talent that he uses it for evil, because he does have talent. And I pray for him every day But I don't want them out in the world either doing the same thing again to other people.
Champion's business, Champion Home Remodeling and Construction, is not accredited by the Better Business Bureau. In fact, it has an F rating with the BBB. Weber says this indictment should serve as a reminder to research people you're going to work with, something he did not do.
Do your homework. Find out who's going to do the work for you. Find out if they're licensed. Do they even have a valid address? I didn't do that. Please beware of knowing what contractors they're out there.
Now, he says he wants justice for everyone involved.
Getting money back, praying for his heart and his soul. And yeah, I think he needs to do some jail time. He should not be walking away free.
Well, it is Thursday, and you all know what that means. It is time for Crime Stoppers. Let's see who 48's Gina Benitez and Huntsville Police need your help stopping this week.
This week's suspects are wanted for some major crimes: trafficking, robbery, rape, and even someone accused of stealing major money. If you know where cops can find them, call Huntsville Police.
Devron Pope is facing a drug trafficking charge. Police say he trafficked fentanyl into our area. Investigators want to bring in Russell Watts for first-degree robbery. He's accused of holding someone at gunpoint and stealing their money. Natalie Pack is charged with financial exploitation of the elderly. Police say she stole almost $150,000 from a family member with a bogus power of attorney. Candace Gordon is accused of stealing someone's credit card and using it many times. And police say Courtney Smith repeatedly raped someone. It's easy to earn up to $1,000 if you recognize any of these people. Just call 256-53-CRIME. You can also text or email your tips. For more information, visit the Crime Stoppers link on our website, WAFF.com.
Thank you, Gina. Now in sports. Tonight is the night a Major League Baseball game comes to the state of Alabama. That's right, the St. Louis Cardinals and San Francisco Giants will play at Birmingham's historic Rick Wood Field in the 2024 MLB Field of Dreams game. First pitch is scheduled to start at 6:15. And also in sports, a women's college lacrosse championship is coming to Huntsville. The commission recently announced that the 2025, 26, and 27 Gulf Coast Conference Championship will be held at John Hunt Park. The 2025 tournament is currently scheduled for late April. Now, in some state news. Yesterday was, of course, Juneteenth, and some Alabama lawmakers are pushing to make it a state holiday as it is already a federal holiday. Let's listen.
It speaks to equality and freedom and all of those things.
Representative Wandalyn Gavan could be seen proudly repping her Juneteenth shirt on Wednesday. She's glad it became a federal holiday in 2021.
It was an overwhelming moment.
And that the governor proclaimed it a state holiday this year.
I commend Governor Ivey.
But she says something more concrete is needed going forward, a law. Her bill to solidify Juneteenth as a permanent state holiday got lost in the legislature this year.
The gaming bill was an issue, of course, the Birmingham Southern situation. There was a lot of tug of wars that were going on between both houses.
That's why Gavan plans to bring it up again, optimistic it will pass in 2025. The Democrat says many of her Republican colleagues have also shown support.
Of course, for many of my colleagues, there's not an appetite to add another holiday because we have, I think, 13 or 14 holidays on the books here in the state of Alabama.
That's why a compromise has been made. State employees could have to choose between taking off on Juneteenth or Jefferson Davis's birthday, which is also recognized in June. Regardless of what happens, the state lawmaker says she just doesn't want history to be forgotten.
We know about CRT here and an attempt to strip black history, but the realization is that those things do exist. Slavery did exist.
Yes, and now a little something you can do over the weekend. A new farmers market is coming to Huntsville this Saturday. The Huntsville Botanical Garden is launching the Root and Shoots Farmers Market every fourth Saturday of June, July, and August. Today, I spoke with Laura McPhail at the Huntsville Botanical Garden, and let's take a listen to what she had to say.
well, since I've been here, we haven't had anything like this, but a little bit of the backstory is, this is really just a pilot program. We were looking around, saw that, there's a real desire for people around here to have fresh produce and fresh homemade things to take home with them that really support local businesses and local farmers. And we wanted to be a part of that. And so we're giving this a try. We're going to see how it works and try and get people to come out here and support these local businesses and farmers as best we can.
Super cool. And you mentioned the fresh produce. What all should we expect to see or find at the Roots and Shoots market?
Well, we'll have some farmer presence there, of course, and then we'll have some local makers and some hot sauces and some homemade popsicles. And I mean, there's really just a variety of things. We're starting out small, but we're getting bigger, and we're always open for more vendors to sign up too. So if there are any out there that are looking for a great place to showcase their products and sell to a niche target audience, then we would love to have them sign up with us on our website.
Yes, that is one thing you can do. Well, 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis will likely tell you there's going to be some heat in the forecast. And as we're on the topic of heat and farming, let's look at a story about how this year's heat wave is impacting farmers nationwide.
We can go to the strawberries, we got the blueberries.
At Gossberry Farm in Mechanic Falls, Mike Goss has ways to keep the birds out of the merchandise.
And they were wondering if we're down here shooting stuff. It's like, oh no, that's my bird cannon. Oh, here we go.
But there's little escaping the heat.
I mean, if it was like gonna be more than like a week of this, then might be a little more concerned, but.
He's optimistic and doing well. The farm closed to berry pickers Tuesday because they had sold out. There are other berry farms in the area, so to mix it up, Goss uses plastic beds to retain heat under the strawberries, helping them ripen sooner. They'll be doing plenty of ripening this week.
They'll just ripen overnight. And then if you don't get the crowds to come out during the day because it's too hot, then they go by real fast in this heat.
He'll need more customers braving the haze and fast. Over in Durham at Old Crow Ranch, things move at a slow pace. Because of the heat, Steve Sinisi got up early to move his cattle to a nice shady field where they'll graze comfortably, minus the flies, for the week. Now it's time to harvest hay for them.
It's drying down faster than we can bale it right now, 'cause I don't want like dry hay.
It's all well and good until it isn't.
Farming's hard work on a perfect day. Throw in a 105-degree temperature in the cab of that tractor, and the hay baling machine breaks down in the middle of your run while you're trying to get the winter's worth of cow feed in the barn. Maybe that's why not everyone's cut out for it.
And yet, they'll manage the heat like they managed the endless rain last year, with the right mindset.
I do it because I love it, and I do it because I want my kids growing up this way, and it's what I want to do.
Finally, if you're a fan of SpongeBob, you're going to want to stick around for this. The other day, we had SpongeBob here at the station and sat down with 48 Now. From June 27th through the 30th, the SpongeBob musical is coming to the Mae Jemison Theater. Now, DeCorian Cobb, who plays the awesome role of SpongeBob in the musical, came in and we spoke to him, so let's take a quick listen. So far?
This process has been incredible, man. Just getting to relive these memories that are written in the story. There's so many bits and pieces that you'll recognize if you come to see this show. But the character it's high energy, and it's very tiring. If you can imagine, SpongeBob does a lot. He's really active, but he's really happy. And in this story, he's trying to save the world. So. I spend a lot of my time, making sure that I understand what he's trying to say, and I can relay that properly to the people. And, you know, in this process, my castmates and I have just been getting the show up and on its feet and prepared, you know, to tell the story for you guys that are able to make it out. So.
Very cool. And you. Very awesome. You're going to want to head out to the Mae Jemison Theater. It will be June 27th through the 30th. especially if you are a SpongeBob fan. And the guy who is talking to you right now, I am personally a huge SpongeBob fan, so I hope I can make it out there. Now let's head into stories you're just not going to want to miss. Local Olympians here in North Alabama, a ghost ship in Florida, and a new device that could help you from overheating. Find out more in tonight's newscast on these stories you're just not going to want to miss. And now you all know the drill. You know what time it is. It is, of course, time for Facebook Fun. Our question today was, if you had a theme song, what would it be? I'm not sure what mine would be. I think mine kind of varies. It changes depending on my mood. But let's see what you all had to say. Brandy Burgess said Outlaw Women. That is a very good song. Hank Williams Jr., of course, Bo Seafish, shout out. Very, very good song. Thank you so much for commenting, Brandy. Lisa, she said Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts. Very good song. It reminds me, so growing up, I was a huge fan of the movie Cars, and of course, this is the song for Cars. Very good song there. Thank you, Lisa. Sherry said Living on a Prayer. That is right. That is Bon Jovi. I mean, they're legendary. Living on a Prayer, 100%. Great song. Thank you for commenting, Sherry. And finally, the last comment, Marilee Pierce said, I Will Survive. Great song. Yes, you will, Marilee. We will all survive. We're going to make it. We're almost to Friday. We're almost there, so we will survive. But without further ado, that is all the time I have for Before the Four. I want to thank you all for sticking around with me and spending some of your afternoon with me. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you download the 48 Digital app, turn on those push notifications, and get the breaking news delivered directly to you. And the same goes for the 48 First Alert weather app. But you all know how we like to end this, and let's do it. Thank you all for watching. You all have a great night.